Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to round 4 of the Daytona Super Champs down at Sandown Park. You join me on the qualifying lap. So this is the alternate circuit across the line, and turn 1 is here, trying to carry a reasonable amount of speed in there. Turn 2, you can take that flat if you get it right, but we're on quite cold tyres at the moment, and just down here, turn 3, you can see they're losing the rear. This car under, or when it had cold tyres, as turn 4 goes a little bit better, in cold tyres, it was the fronts really that were sort of losing the most grip. So actually around turn 3 I had to lock the rear axle to get it turned, and we lost a load of time there. Conservative into the terrifying turn 6 with these cold tyres, and 7 and back through to 8, and that is our qualifying lap done. So a conservative lap, but a reasonably good lap. It was good enough for P4 overall. That's P1 in class. There we are. We have Philip, Tom Brown second, Philip Abulau, Tom Brown in second, Nick Fallon in third. Philip and Nick will have their own footage, so you do go and have a look at that from a different perspective on the race. Tom holds back here a little bit, it gives him a little bit more momentum over the line. We go green, and Nick gets quite a poor start actually. We're able to go all the way around the outside, just right on the back of Tom's bumper. Tom's on the back of Philip, looking just to the left here and the right. Tom blocks us off. We brake, and then just have a look at this. It's a total lack of grip there. Understeer, oversteer, no good. You can see how much time we lose just in that one corner. We've lost 2 or 3 kart lengths there, haven't we? When you're a heavyweight like we are, you might expect to lose a little bit of time on straights. That's normal, but then again you could also expect to have a little bit more grip in the corners. So just here, as we've got more weight over the rear axle, so we're actually able to be much more aggressive into the braking zone. We closed right back up on Tom into that heavy braking zone there. But yeah, a bit of a strange one. It felt a little bit of an overall lack of grip in this kart. It starts off with dealing with a bit of understeer, and then actually as the tyres warm up, the balance comes in. The balance is actually quite a lot nicer. There's Nick there, so not a problem with balance at all, but just perhaps a little bit less overall grip. And I don't know if you can see, thank you very much to Nick Fallon, and Aidan Fallon actually taking the shots here, dad of Nick. So again, we've got some wonderful outboard footage, and you can see there's a little gaggle of us. It's me and some lightweight drivers. Just at the back of that lightweight crew there was Speedy Gonzalez, so he will... He always puts up some footage as well, so again, do have a look at his footage. He's got this 360 camera, so you can have a look around in all directions. Just there on the bottom left of the screen, as we see Nick going up the inside of us, we've held him up long enough really. We're not fighting him. He's going to get up the inside here. We're not really going to fight this too hard. We'll go around the outside, again, there he is. Back to the outboard footage, but on the bottom left-hand side of my camera, you might have noticed a spot of water. Now, it was threatening to rain all throughout the day. It's still there, bottom left of the screen. It was threatening to rain, and it was one of those moments where you could see a few drops on the visor. And it's kind of terrifying really, because you just don't know how much grip you're going to have. We're on slick tyres here, and it's not like there's progressively less grip every lap until you've got no grip. You find with racing on slicks in the wet that you go from having the normal amount of grip to just skating very quickly off the track and into the tyre barrier. So it's really kind of all the grip or no grip at all. And just driving down into here, very, very quick down here, and really no braking zone at all. Hitting the brakes at turn 6 and finding you've got no grip at all, it's going to really hurt. So it's quite intimidating. The other issue, of course, is if you don't keep the heat in the tyres. If you slow down, then you're also going to have less grip. So you need to really keep the heat in the tyres in order to get them to work. It's not like a Formula One car that needs downforce in order to work. It's not quite like that, but you do need to certainly get the car up to full working speed, making sure that the brakes and tyres are warm, otherwise you're actually going to end up having less grip. So we sort of dropped back slightly from Tom and Nick there. That these guys were quicker. I've said to you in previous videos what the difference, the delta between the lightweight and heavyweight drivers is. I've just moved it forward a little bit there because nothing was really happening. Actually, we've got our first yellow flag. You can see there it was actually a Saudi driver who had I could see like a bit of wire coming out of the back of his car. It's another outboard shot from Aidan Fallon here, and this is of turn 3, and it's a really nice image actually. This is us coming through here. It's a really nice image to show how the track really falls away. It's not really obvious here. We're coming through here. It's not really obvious from my angle, but actually if you can get it hooked up into the inside, the camber really helps to get it in. So I think actually a slightly early turning point there, turning in a little bit early, does actually help, because you've just got the camber there to help swing you around. Now we're just coming back onto the back of the leader in the Saudi class. This is Jenson Hodges, but we've got another yellow flag, and we're going to round this corner and see that it's our friend Anthony Unit, who's very unfortunately come to a stop. He's had a bit of an unfortunate day, to be honest. He had to qualify in a cold kart, and then this one has stopped. So he's one of our title rivals. So a real shame for him, that's gonna take a little while to clear up. In actual fact, it didn't take too long because they just pushed him back. The pit lane exit was open. You can see we've fallen off the back of Jenson there. I didn't really want to get a penalty by speeding under yellow, so I was just I was going a little bit slower, but under the yellow flag, or under the green flags, we've caught him up again quite quickly. But here we've got yellow flag waved, but the green board. So I'm not sure who's wrong there. Is it the green board or is it the marshal? And actually the marshal was absolutely right. Poor old Speedy Gonzalez there on the outside of turn 2. He's also come to a stop. So again, this is going to be another full course caution in quick succession. So I think I'm going to move the footage on here. There we are. So I'm going to move the footage on. We are just about to start. We're not going to start racing just yet, but we're just about to start racing again now, and we're off. And just ahead of us into turn 3, you see the unfortunate figure of Nick Fallon, who's unfortunately lost it into the entry to turn 3. I was talking to Nick afterwards, and he said that he literally just tapped the brakes, and because we had spent so long, we had 2 failures sort of in a row. The marshals, being safety first, the marshals do a full course caution, that means that we're sort of driving around, not really getting very much heat into the brakes and tyres. Just like I was saying earlier, we're not racing Formula One cars here, but you do need to keep the karts going at a reasonably quick pace. Otherwise, you lose tyre temperature, you lose brake temperature, and that's that is the outcome. So poor old Nick there, he was saying to me afterwards, literally just tapped the brake and the rear came round and put him backwards into the barrier. So he's fallen behind us. In actual fact, it wasn't a disaster for him. I believe he was 3rd in class at the time, having a very close battle with Tom Brown. Those guys were very closely matched on time today. He's fallen behind me, but we're not in the same class, so that's actually not too much of an issue. Again, you can see there, we got it wrong into turn 6, didn't we? And this is just one of those moments where I don't think the footage is really doing this justice, but we're getting a few spots of rain again. There's another one just in the right-hand corner of the camera lens. And it's funny because it's quite a warm day, but grip level is quite low. Here's Speedy Gonzalez in his new kart, and you can see just how the lack of grip that he has on cold tyres. We've just driven straight past him. He had good pace today as well. He was racing with us right at the start of the footage, the start of this race. But it goes to show just how low the grip levels are when you first get into the kart. If you saw one of my footage of one of my races previously this year, you would have seen that we had to go through this as well. We had a kart failure, and it was in the pits actually, and then we went out on a cold kart, and the grip levels were just shocking. It was almost like driving in the wet. Very, very challenging conditions there. As we round this corner, we have a Sodi up ahead, so we're going to take them over on the inside. But just at the last minute, we see that there's Andrew Clark there. I believe he had a coming together on the straight with Tom Brown. Both of them, were sort of very sensible about it. I think it was just one of those things, just coming together. Quite a fast part of the circuit there to have a spin, and we're lucky we didn't kind of plough into them, because that Sodi driver just in front of us just meant that we were slightly unsighted, and as I moved to the right about 55 miles an hour, I just suddenly saw them there and I had to jump on the brakes. Little slightly dodgy moment there and everything, but luckily no harm done, and Andrew came through to finish on the podium, so very well done to him. We've got Nick Fallon behind us at the moment. He's having to recover now. Now he's reeling us in, but like I said before, we're not in the same championship really, so it's not too much of an issue. With regard to the championship, this is the final round. Okay, so it's quite a short championship. This is round 4, and we came into today leading on points. Quite pleased to be leading on points really, because we have had 2 mechanical failures in this championship, 2 issues. So one where I had to walk back to the pits, and another where we've got another yellow flag there. So someone's gone in backwards into turn 6. We've got another issue where we had a failure in the pit stop. So it didn't cost us too much time. Probably cost us about 30 seconds, that one. But as long as I don't do anything silly, then we'll be okay. So Anthony Unit here, he's in his new car. He's just apologising to him there. Just misjudged what I thought he was doing. I thought he was going to go for a move up the inside of this back marker. We've actually got a Sodi that's gone past us now, because we had to take a tight line in to that corner there, and not really sure why he did that. I know we don't want to cost the Sodis any time, but then he sort of puts us on the grass here as well. We don't want to cost the Sodis any time, of course, but we're not racing them, so moving past another back marker in D-Max, and that should be it. Anthony was like I say, in his new kart on cold tyres, so very, very difficult for him there. Normally I'd expect him to go up the inside. He's a quick driver, very quick driver actually, not his day on this occasion. Ran the outside of a back marker. So like I was saying, we have got a points advantage coming into this round. So all being well, we will wrap up our first ever championship victory here. So I won't give it away. I'll let you find out. In fact, I'll put a photograph of the podium at the end of this footage, so you can see who ends up taking the top spot. But we've also got the in cart, as we've got another yellow flag here. Someone has gone in backwards again. That's right. So we've got another. Oh no, they've gone in forwards. Traditional. They've gone in forwards. So we've got the other championship coming up. It's actually going to be, at the time of me speaking, it's going to be tomorrow. Potentially could wrap up that championship as well. So you fight for years for championship glory, and then 2 come along all at once. Potentially, actually, I don't want to jinx it, but I actually have a better points lead in the other championship, the in-kart, than I do in this one. Again, all being well, fingers crossed, I might be able to wrap up both championships. But what was I going to say? Totally forgotten what I was going to say. I'm sure it's something very insightful very intriguing. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry for the delay in getting this video out. It's sort of a couple of weeks after I meant to. I have been battling COVID. It finally got me after 3 years. 2 years, 3 years. No, I suppose technically it's 3 years. It's been about 4. I kind of thought I was invincible to it, actually. Come into a lot of contact with people who had it, including my wife at home. Still managed not to get it. But then, shortly after, about a day after this race, actually, I had a very faint line. And then the day after that, it turned into a very thick line on the COVID test. So taking a little while to. It wasn't too bad, actually. It just feels a bit like a cold, but I did feel really, really tired for a very long time, and obviously had to stay off work, which I was devastated with. Back to full health now. In some ways, it was really lucky, actually, to pick up COVID when I did, because there was a couple of really important things going on at work, and also, even more important, there was the final of the Super Champs here, and then the final of the in-kart in 2 weeks' time, and I managed to pick up COVID at a time when it was sort of really at its minimum disruptiveness, I should say, for both work and for karting. So all going well. Just trying to make our way past these back markers. Now, at the moment, we haven't really got much of a threat from behind. We're not troubling anyone ahead. The threat from behind is Nick Fallon. Like I say, he is right there. He, despite losing a whole fistful of time in the barrier, he's recovering, and he's after me. But again, it doesn't really matter with regard to fighting him, because we're not in the same championship, as I've said before, so not too much of an issue there. We've just got to keep the thing pointing in the right direction, and like I say, it's not necessarily easy, given that we have sort of rain in the air, potential of rain in the air. We have had a few kart stoppages, which has resulted in sort of having to get the machine up to normal operating temperature. I think the issue is particularly your brain kind of computes what level of grip you have available, when the green flag goes, when the yellow flags go away and the green flag flies, then you kind of it's very, very easy to forget that you're going to have less grip than you're sort of suddenly used to, and particularly in conditions like today, where the track wasn't yielding that much grip. It was really, really easy to lose tyre temperature very, very quickly. So one of those one of those issues there. Driver up ahead of us is Chris. Now, Chris is, again, very, very fast driver. He had a brilliant qualifying, actually. He was right behind us on the grid. Again, speaking to him afterwards, unfortunately, it seems that I think he spun on lap 1, ended up having I think he recovered well, but really unfortunate given how strong his qualifying was. So, I think he comes home to do a very, very good job in the end. How long was this race? This was a D40, I think. Again, this is a problem with leaving it a couple of weeks before doing the voiceover. I can't remember what we were actually doing. There he is. He's aware that we're here. He is a very aware driver, and we're we're just in the slipstream now, and he actually points us through there, which is very good of him. In actual fact, we go a little bit wide just on the inside there, and I'm not sure if this was for us or not, but there's a no contact board there and the marshal points up, so yeah, I don't know if they thought I pushed Chris out the way, but he did let me through, even if I did make some contact by not slowing the kart down quite as well as I should have done, really. But yeah, never mind. So yeah, look, I will let you watch the rest of the video in peace, and like I say, I'll put the overall result at the end of this this footage. So yeah, just want to say thank you very much to everyone who has been watching and liking and subscribing. Here we've got some more outboard footage. Thank you very much to the Fallons, Nick and Aidan, who have been really enhancing the quality of these videos. There's Nick, so Nick's just behind Chris now as well, and yeah, we're just behind. This is Speedy Gonzalez. Like I say, go and check his footage out, because that camera on top of his head's quite cool. We can see 360 footage and everything. So yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much also to everyone who who's made the racing really good fun, really clean, really fair. Of course, there are sometimes rubbing incidents and things like that. I think if we, as I just sort of get into the back of someone there, you know, we spend long enough racing together, and eventually we end up sort of taking each other out, don't we? But you know, the racing down here is actually really clean. It's as clean a karting as I have ever seen. So you know, it is good. And if you're watching this and you're interested in coming down and having a look, please do. You know, they've got loads of open races, they've got practice sessions, they've got championship rounds like these ones as well. They've got the Sodi karts. We're following a Sodi kart here, so they are, perhaps if you've never done any karting before, they're the ones to go for. The D-Max are the slightly faster ones. Although on this layout, actually, the D-Max aren't very much faster. The Sodis actually pull out of the corners much better, and this track has got loads of corners that favour the Sodis pulling out of them, and you can see here that when we get up into the rev range, this D-Max car that we're driving here obliterates everything. But yeah, just pulling out of the corners, actually, you know, the Sodis are slightly quicker. So you know, there wasn't that much difference really today. I think on this layout, it's about 2 or 3 seconds a lap difference. On the normal layout, it's more like 4 seconds a lap difference. But yeah, the Sodis were quick today. So yeah, like I say, yeah, thanks very much for watching and everything. As we've got another guy just off there. It looks like he's had a mechanical. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much, and maybe I'll see you down here. Oh, and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Can't talk. That's what you're supposed to say if you're a YouTuber. So thanks very much to everyone who's already done that. All right, cheers. See you next time. Okay guys, so just as we're heading into the last lap, excuse me, I thought I would just take you through the end of this race and also the end of this championship. So at this stage here, just like I mentioned before, we haven't got that many people around us who we're sort of fighting with particularly, but we have got a great battle up ahead of us, so we don't really want to be getting in the way of this. It's one of these really awkward situations, isn't it, where you know you sort of like, normally you would just have to say, I'm going past because it's a race. But here you can see we could have gone past them there, but I put my hand up because I didn't want anyone ploughing into the back of me. I know that Nick's behind me, I sort of put my hand up to say that I'm not going for it. Just let these guys fight it out. So really good race for them. And here is the championship position. So there's me in the middle, won my first ever championship. Andrew and Chris on the podium with me. So congratulations to them. Thanks for watching.